Hello, I'm Sebastian McLean and welcome to the McLean Report. We have a special arts and technology segment this week. My guest is prominent artist Christopher Keene. If you're not familiar with the name, I'm sure you'll recognize his work. Of course, those were a few of the stunning visual effects from three of Hollywood's bigger blockbusters, including the Oscar-nominated movies Armageddon and Mighty Joe Young. And here's the man who created those stunning visual effects. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you, Sebastian. It's good to be here.
So, Chris, I have to ask you, you're a traditional sculptor. So what was it that started you on your journey in this process?
Well, you're right. I am traditionally trained. I went to the Rhode Island School of Design, RISD. I wanted to learn how to do bronze casting. They had a wonderful foundry on campus. I spent 4 years there learning how to do the lost wax process. I then went on to Syracuse University for my graduate work. My work at that time was traditional as well. It was representational, very detailed, and often whimsical with an element of humor. I experienced some early success with my sculpture. I was invited to a group show at the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., and then gallery representation in New York and Canada.
So with that kind of success as a sculptor, Chris, what was it that caused you to switch your focus?
It was the Mac.
The Mac?
Yes, the Macintosh computer. When I saw that desktop computer, I realized it had great potential as a creative tool. However, I realized in time that the software was limited. I'd seen other companies out there developing animation software for the entertainment industry, and I wanted to be a part of that.
So Chris, how challenging was that transition?
The software had a steep learning curve, so that meant going back to school for a year. However, while there, I collaborated with a few other students to develop a demo reel. We decided to do a television commercial. Our subject was a toilet, an animated toilet, called the Crapmatic. I believe I have a clip of that. Would you like to see it?
Absolutely.
New from Crapmatic. It's the remote control Crapmatic adjustable toilet. Just look at the features. Recliner and footrest, inflatable vibrating seat, reading lamp, meal tray, magazine rack, shaving kit, oral hygiene center, and many more. The remote control Crapmatic adjustable toilet. Call today. Void where prohibited. Flush feature optional.
That's really great. So listen, that clip, that was actually the piece that got you started with what you do now.
That's correct. Actually, that demo reel was seen by the Walt Disney Company, and they flew me down to LA and hired me for what I thought might be a one-picture deal, but it ended up being several pictures over 12 years.
Wow, wow. So then what would you qualify as being your most memorable project?
That would be the movie Armageddon. There was one particular shot in that film that I worked on over a period of about 6 weeks. It was only 6 seconds on the screen, but it cost $1 million to produce.
Wow. Let's have a look.
Yeah, by all means. Now this segment is narrated by Hoyt Yateman, who was the special effects supervisor on the movie.
Using aerial photos and satellite photos, Chris Keene started building an actual block feel of buildings that we would eventually see shot from the Eiffel Tower. Even though we shot from the Eiffel Tower, the illusion was that we were somewhere else high above the Paris background, and we would later put in the Eiffel Tower as a CG element. Using the block diagrams and shapes made in Maya, we then projected the footage that we shot from our plate crew in France onto those shapes.
So Chris, I'm sure a lot of our viewers would like to know a little bit maybe about your process and approach. Are there some tips or tricks that you can share with maybe some of those that might want to get involved in the field?
Well, I realize we don't have enough time to go into great detail of the process and technologies I've embraced in my work. However, I can say this. All of my sculpture concepts are now developed in the computer, where I can visualize everything, including finishes and the environment it will be placed. I can email my data files to a company that specializes in 3D print technology, and they'll create a three-dimensional prototype of the sculpture. I can then email my digital data to another company that will input my sculpture information into a CNC router, which will then carve out a full-scale sculpture. For viewers interested in learning more about emerging technologies, they can visit my website, ChristopherKeene.com.
Last question today. What is it that really inspires you in your work, Chris?
I draw inspiration for my work through the world around me and my own life experiences. It could be that I'm poking fun at the follies of mankind, or presenting a moral dilemma. Either way, the work is universal, and I hope the viewer will have some emotional response based on their life experience.
If you'd like to learn more about Christopher Keene's current projects or contact the artist, visit his website displayed at the bottom of this screen. I'm Sebastian McLean. Thanks for watching.